Thanks, man. Okay. Dick ready for a countdown? Okay.
In three,
2, 1, go. So it's not actual timing. It's probably like 12 seconds over, but that's fine. Let's see. 16 seconds. That was okay. So first jump is a blind jump. Second one is also semi-blind. There we go. This is Glare. This is a puzzle platformer that was brought out just before Ori did. It kind of follows the same kind of platformer with interesting mechanics, but it didn't grow as big as Ori did, unfortunately. There are some very interesting mechanics in this game. For example, right now I don't have a weapon. I do have a way of dealing with enemies, though. I have this glare ability, which basically makes me be able to get rid of these smoke buffs. Oh, maybe I should actually jump off a platform. That'd be great. Enable these plants and also push away enemies, which is nice. So this enemy, I can just push him into the spikes there, and he's gone. Same with him. I can deflect bullets with glare, and with that, we're trying to save the world. Basically, my character is Shiner. He's the protector of light sent by some kind of sun god himself, I think. Something in that neighborhood. And comes down to planets to save them from the corruption that is trying to basically steal the sun. So, yeah, that's the basic gist of the story of this, in a nutshell. Meanwhile, it's just a fun little platformer with some cool tricks and skips coming up later. Oh, left shift to show the way. I'm gonna have to change that. Oh, hi. There we go. Fixed. So yeah, now we finally get a weapon, which is nice if you're gonna have to rid the world of evil and all. I mean, it's kind of a necessary upgrade. If you see in the back here, there's kind of rings up there. Those will come in handy later in the game. I'll point them out once we get there, but that'll be half an hour or so. Yeah, most of this is just optimized platforming, trying to skip as much movement as possible. Stuff like that, just basic platformer things. So long as you're in the same place, the RNG of enemies spawning is always the same. So you can kind of, basically the spawning mechanics are position based. So you can trick the game into giving you what you expect, essentially. So that guy always flies over me if I don't jump or do other weird stuff, for example. Go. So that's the last of the toxic pools, which clears this and makes this white. That'll come in just a little bit as well. Just remember that there's 3 of these kind of pipes that had toxic sludge and now have light in them. And these are buttons. Essentially just open up a door further on in a level. As you can see, they're kind of connected, so if you run into a door and you see this, you probably missed a button if it's dark and doesn't open. Okay. These hallways can get very crowded with enemies, but if you're fast enough, you skip by before most of them get the chance to spawn in. Now, based on my timing, this plant can be annoying, but I got here on a good frame, so we were just able to jump through immediately. So yeah, once you die, certain states of certain things stay the same. For example, buttons. We're gonna abuse that fact in just a second here. Please stay alive, monster. Crap, it didn't. Okay. Then we're just gonna suicide on this. So yeah, I pressed that button and then I killed myself down there because I don't want to platform back up. And the button stays pressed anyway, so we can just open this door. Oh, actually, yeah, the third pool's up here. I forgot. Either way, this being the third pool means that we've essentially unlocked the boss. So that'll be coming up here. Now, if you look in the corners, up there, and there's one down there as well. This boss is going to be kind of pushed out of its position by the light. And once all the locks are removed, which are around its paws there, it will actually open up. The goal here is not to get hit because that interrupts your shot. You have 3 health indicated by your screen getting darker. There is no health bar or anything. So essentially it's just either remember or know the very subtle change in light brightness on your game, which, trust me, is not very responsible. So essentially it's just remember how many times you've been hit. So that was phase 2. Phase 3, the boss will blow up. This would usually unlock the levels, but because I've played the game on this PC before, all the levels will be unlocked, but we can just select the next level in the lineup and keep going. So we select desert. Usually if you pause the game when you don't have all the levels unlocked, right the frame where he starts to do it, his death animation is when the next level gets unlocked in that menu. So that's what we use for timing of starting a new level. So yeah, this is Desert World. This is where we will get lanterns introduced. Lanterns are very fun, but also can be very unforgiving. They essentially let you launch off them to do certain tricks. So if you jump off a lantern before it has pulled you to it, you will keep your momentum you had when you were moving towards it. If you don't jump off, you will just stop at the lantern and slow down. But because we jump off almost every lantern, we will just keep flying across the level. So yeah, this is a gun upgrade. I now have a 3-shot instead of a 1-shot, which also does more damage, which is very nice. It's a helpful upgrade against all the enemies, because the health of enemies doesn't upgrade with it. The only thing that happens is every once in a while it gives you a new enemy, like a bigger one with more health or stuff like that. There we go. Okay. It doesn't, but there's health back. So if you see a glowing orb, that gives you more health. Also, every checkpoint gives you your health back. So as you saw right there, it started to light up, the screen light lit up a little more. That also gives you your health back. Okay. I don't think the cutscenes do, though. It's just the checkpoints that are on the floor and the glowing balls of health. Essentially. So there is a small little platforming skip coming up in a second. So this is one of those checkpoints right down here. Okay, so we're gonna jump and try to hit the lantern here. There we go. Okay. I am on 1 health, so I'm gonna have to be very careful. That was a health drop right there. It was behind the snake, so it may not have been seen. There was a little orb of light there. You can glare those towards you to grab them, which is usually what you would do in boss fights, because you don't want to go through enemies to grab your health packs. But yeah. If I see one laying around in a while, I'll leave it for a few seconds so people can see it. Oh, there was one there, but unfortunately I walked right through it. Okay, so there's a few little nice lantern boosts coming up here. There we go. There we go. Nice. That was essentially the perfect pattern there. It looks fairly easy, but it's pretty hard to get those to be consistent. Okay, so right now we're gonna get the slide upgrade. So all the slopes in this game are gonna be much nicer to travel over. I'm gonna try and keep our momentum as much as possible, so jump over hills going upward and slide down hills going downward. There we go. So for those balloons, they kind of launch you up themselves. So for that pattern, for example, I was just able to hold right and it kind of figures itself out. Here we're gonna jump up slightly early so we get here in time. Okay. These kind of orbs on the floor are landmines. I'm pretty surprised I didn't hit any. If you get close enough, they blow up. You can shoot them to make them blow up earlier. Okay, so this is just a race against... Oh, hello. Where did that jump come from? Go. So this will be a key puzzle. I'm gonna get a key drop here. Actually, no, this is not one of the key puzzles. That'll be coming up later. It is in Desert World, though. I'm pretty sure. This is just another button. Go. So yeah, another small little platforming skip here. I can just jump right into that pad over there instead of going to the left and doing another 2 slides. So yeah, that brings us to the second boss fight. As you can see, it's kind of the same as the first boss fight, but there is a twist to this one. it's going to spawn exploding balls under me. At this rate, while it's not open yet, it'll be a cycle of 3 every time. Once it opens up, it just keeps chasing me with these exploding devices, essentially. There we go. So now it's calmed down again. That was cycle 1. So yeah, the key is to avoid both the enemies and the exploding explosions at the same time. These are health drops, by the way. So yeah, I can just go around the health drops, chill, and usually when I'm at 2 health, I will grab a health pack right away. Because once you're at 2 health, the game can try and just wombo combo you out of there, and it's pretty good at doing that, especially in the boss fights. For the earlier boss fights, it's slightly harder to die because it still gives you a lot of health packs while it's going on, but never say never. Okay, so select World Pillar World. That was Desert, so now we're going up to Pillar. This is where the first puzzles come in. And also where we're eventually near the halfway mark of the level are actually going to unlock double jump, which is pretty nice for a platformer. Another small lantern skip coming up here. If I grab the top lantern, we just get through it right away. Okay, here we go. And here are slides. We can skip these as well by just dropping off early and just dropping all the way to the bottom. So yeah, if you stand in that fog, it slows you down completely to almost a dead halt. So you definitely do want to clear it. So yeah, down here would be the first switch puzzle, but we're going to skip it by abusing a wall jump that wasn't intended, that gives you way more speed than it's supposed to, and just jumping over a gap that you're normally never supposed to clear. It looked very fast because I was actually able to do the fast strat, but essentially that's what happened. I jumped into a wall and then jumped off the wall immediately. There we go. Gets us through here. Now we have air moving upward, so we can just jump. Oh, not into a ceiling. That's a bad idea. And then instead of actually platforming in between these platforms, we can just go along the wall here. Fight this monster. These monsters, you can technically try to skip them, but they're pretty harsh about pushing you into those spikes, so I generally just try to kill them anyway. Oh, wow. Okay, that was unexpected. Don't want to say that never happened before, but because it probably did. But what happened there is I bounced off the slide and lost my jump because I don't have double jump yet. There, did it again. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do the jump differently, because I'm not used to that happening. Oh god. Okay. Let's go. Let's stop dying here. This is not the place you're supposed to be dying in. There we go. That's gonna clear that gap. Let's jump early and take the slide from here. There we go. We good. So here's the actual puzzle. Jump out up here. We cleared the receiver. So yeah, I just unlocked a puzzle piece. Going up here. And instead of climbing around, I'm gonna throw it into the receiver and go to the jump pad. We grab the slide and go over to the right, so we don't have to go over, up and over, but we can go there directly. Another lantern boost to get right up on this ledge. Go just under those enemies there. And then, because this air is moving upwards, I can kind of get on this ridge and still have the air moving upwards and get on that platform. Into double jump upgrade. Okay, there we go. So this should make it slightly easier to recover failed jumps if I bounce off platforms or something else. Oh, hello. There we go. Don't feel like dealing with those today. Yeah, we can just push those to jump off the ledge into spikes. So it's very convenient that receivers can grab these puzzle pieces on their own, because right now I'm gonna drop it in there and just jump back up. Hi. Okay, there we go. Now it activated. I was just not low enough to load the receiver. But if you load the receiver by going down far enough and then jumping back up, you can just go through the door without having to actually put the puzzle piece in there. It's just below the door. Okay, so here's the pillar world boss. The gimmick of this one is lasers. Not just any lasers, they are moving lasers. So you're being forced to keep moving and watch your movement as you're going about, because it keeps spawning enemies in your face. There's 2 sets of them, and then it eventually opens up and stops the lasers. There we go. There we go. That's cycle 2. so here's cycle 3. We'll be good to go. There we go. Into Ice World. The longest world in this game, but also the one with the biggest skip. So yeah, we're gonna see if we can figure this out. Let's go. So yeah, the fun thing about this glitch coming up in, I want to say 30 seconds, is that the developers of this game actually found it and eventually told us about it. They wanted to see if we could figure it out, or figure out a faster way to do this level without their skip. But eventually they did tell us how this one worked. Or not how it worked, because they don't know either, but at least how to execute it. Okay, so hi Bash Beast, please get over here. One, two, three, four. So yeah, that Bash Beast was trying to move while I was paused, and I kind of clipped into him. And essentially, because I was paused, it, I guess, kept upping the velocity of trying to push me out of that beast. Which, because I was paused for 4 seconds, upped high enough for me to fly straight into the air. And eventually get up high enough to go over a certain wall you're normally never supposed to get over. And get to another part of the level. So we're gonna make a quick landing here on this wall. You're never supposed to be able to get over this wall. And we're just gonna continue the level. Unfortunately, you would be able to skip further than this, but this level gives you light bombs, and they are required to finish this level. So we are not able to skip further than this, but it still works out to skip almost half of the level, if I recall correctly. It's been so long that I don't know how much time it exactly saves, but it's quite a lot because this level is originally about 16 minutes on its own. Okay, so here's another puzzle. You're supposed to fly all the way across with the slides. Okay. Fortunately, I was just a bit too far out. Normally, you're supposed to land back here and then slide back across from there. But we're speedrunners, we don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna grab the puzzle piece out of the air and go back with my double jump. So yeah, very small little optimization coming up. If I can do it correctly, we can. Oh, almost. Instead of dead stopping there on that slide, you can usually jump over this little ridge and then continue your slide into the cutscene. I did get the continued slide, but unfortunately I hit some kind of rock which stopped my slide anyway. There's also a small little fun fact about this game where you get upgrades before you get the cutscene. So I threw a light bomb while I'm now in the cutscene for getting a light bomb, which blew up the first wall that it throws at you. So there was supposed to be a wall here, it's gone. So I can throw a light bomb directly at the second wall instead and save some time there, because light bombs take a few seconds to reload after you've used one. There we go. So that takes care of that. And we get back here, which might look familiar as we've been here before. This is where we skipped to earlier. This is supposed to be way further in the level. Right now we're actually going down through the intended path, and we're going to go through here. So upcoming is the birds. The birds have a one-time only trick that you can do where you can skip a few cycles, or essentially the first cycle is timed appropriately for you to jump over a few birds and kind of just keep jumping from bird to bird. If you die, the cycle keeps going, so you'll never be able to do that trick again unless you get very, very lucky. It is slightly dangerous as you can get stuck to a bird or get pushed out of the way by these beasts, but we did get it, so we did get the bird skip. And that was my PC alt-tabbing or something. Hi? Okay. We might be fine. I might have paused it in why is the game doing this? Okay, I died. Rip. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah, exactly. Luckily, it gives you a checkpoint right at the start of birds. But yeah, as you can see, there's no bird ahead of me anymore, so we're not able to skip this anymore. That's very unfortunate. That was fully out of my control. I was alt-tabbed for no reason. But yeah, whatever. It's a marathon. We'll deal with it. Yeah, another one of those small little lantern skips. We can jump here and just go straight to this wall instead of using a launcher to get there. No leap of faith possible, unfortunately. Sometimes as the bird is close enough, you can just jump down here and kind of jump onto the bird as it's flying. It was a bit too far away to try that. What we can do is jump off the bird way early and just jump in here. Ice level is usually supposed to have a gun upgrade. Unfortunately, due to skipping that, we will not have it, and the boss fight expects you to have it. So it has way more damage than you can deal out. So this boss fight is going to take significantly longer than the usual ones would. Also, if I jump off the slide here, I will fall directly into the boss fight. So yeah, the gimmick about this boss is the fact that it has health soak these health soak bouncing balls. And because we don't have the damage the game is expecting us to have at this point, they soak even more shots than usually intended. So I'm gonna try and just pick this health block up manually while I'm shooting at the boss, which worked out. There we go. So yeah, I'm just leading these around. You can use light bombs while floating in these boss fights. They kind of explode around you, so like this. Oh, you can actually make them fly as well. There we go. I usually use them if something gets close to me while I'm shooting, and apparently shooting at it makes it explode instantly. So yeah, we do. Go ahead.
We got a $1.26 donation from Pallister saying, finally paying what I owe. 2 cents for each minute over estimate. 63 times 2.
Whoa.
Put this towards naming Wayman Free Safewell to Monkas.
Okay, so we should be almost out of here. It'll be a little few shots more. There we go. Okay. So, because this game works with checkpoints, we're now going to get the gun upgrade we never actually grabbed. So we will have the upgraded gun now for the rest of the game, which is very nice, because otherwise the rest of the bosses would be kind of a pain to use. So yeah, as you can see, the gun is kind of in a different pattern now. Oh, there we go. So it's kind of like a wavy shot now, which comes out much faster and also deals more damage instead of a spread shot. No, we're not dealing with you today. I took that kind of safe because that can kill you. There's also a few more skips coming up here, which are pretty hard to execute correctly. So we'll see about. Essentially, I have to use a few wall jumps that you're not supposed to be able to do. Okay. That's one. That's the easier one. Come on. No. Okay. Please, game. It's supposed to let me wall jump off this. There we go. Just low. Okay, I died. This puts me back here, correct. Okay. That jump is annoyingly hard to execute properly. Okay. Come on, game. Game, just let me continue, please. Come on, that's supposed to be it. I'm just slightly too low for it to work. This usually never gives me this much trouble. I guess it's marathon luck. If we're stuck here for one more minute, I'm just gonna do the game regularly. Although, that's gonna be interesting, because I haven't done that for at least a year. Come on. It looks fine. That's the weird part. Let's see. If I can force it to run at a higher frame rate. If that helps at all. That might mess with the physics a little more. There we go, finally. Don't clap for that fail, but sure. Heck, that was stupidly difficult for some reason. It's never supposed to be this difficult, but I'm also not used to playing on 60 FPS, which actually affects this game more than it should. I usually run it at 120 capped, but because of the capture card being 60 FPS and all that, I ran it at 60 for the marathon. Either way, we can continue this game now. Capture is still fine, by the way. Okay, cool. Capture was unaffected. That's great. Cool. That's great. I'll just keep it at this frame rate then to not pause the game again, because I kind of don't feel like doing that anymore. We'll do it like this. There we go. So yeah, if this game seems interesting to you at all, you are very welcome to try and pick it up. If you need any help, tips, or an actual guide, it's probably best to contact me, because ever since 2014, I've been the only really active runner. So it'd be great to have some competition and some more people trying to see if we can actually do more with this game than we already have. There is a speedrun.com page, but it's essentially just the old records and the current record. It's also 100% to route out, because this game does have some collectibles that can be collected. Okay, so we're just gonna drop onto the button and throw the puzzle piece into the receiver and drop right into the last regular boss fight. So Lava World, they stopped being creative and they just thought, okay, how can we make this the most difficult boss fight we can? We just throw all the gimmicks at you at once. So this has the bouncing balls, the lasers, and also the explosions as it opens up. And those are going to chase you throughout this entire phase, and also just be around to get in your way. So yeah. This is one of the boss fights that you can potentially die on. It has happened before. The main problem with that is it resets all the cycles when you die. To be honest, I've gotten surprisingly many health drops. I mean, considering the whole block of health over to the right there. Should be fairly safe. There we go. So yeah, just Storycaster left. This is a level of about 1.5 to 2 minutes, so keep that in mind with timing. So these are the rings that I pointed out at the start of the run. Essentially, the Storycaster has taken over the sun, and these rings are kind of connected to the worlds we visited. So this is the first world, forest or tree world, as it's called. The next world we'll be visiting is desert, then pillar world, which is kind of a jungle, ice world, and then lava world to finish it off. There's still a few good skips in this, just this little Storycaster section alone, so definitely worth sticking around for. And the rest of the marathon, obviously, but... Okay, so... double jump, hope to drop on the okay. You can slide over the buttons and hit them. So this is the biggest skip in Torcaster, if I can execute it properly. That's a good RNG pattern, but unfortunately I did drop off. Okay, so this is a... oh, almost. So there's an unintended wall jump over there in this corner. Okay, I'm just gonna clear the crap first before I attempt it again. There we go. Okay, so I got over. Instead of going all the way to the left and doing a bunch of platforming and whatever else, we just jumped on top of the end of the level and are going to drop into this hole and just finish it from here. So yeah, just Lava World left. This is a slide with some platforming, and we'll be finishing the game fairly soon from here. Oh, there's ice. I'm very good at this game, I swear. I'm just very tired. My bad. Either way, I mean, ice is the shortest one of the caster levels. It's just a sequence of jumps. There we go. It actually slid over the button there. So that's how that's supposed to look. So now we do reach lava, and I'm very sure this time. There we go. Okay. So, what I did forget to say is the slide upgrade that we got, which lets us go through these gold walls. It also gives us complete invulnerability to essentially everything, and it insta-kills any enemy you touch. How did I die there? Interesting. Either way, moving on. It gives you the ability to immediately kill any enemy you touch, and it also gives you the ability to be completely invulnerable to all flying objects, enemies, and everything else. Okay, can we please just continue from here? It's fairly easy unless you get a random bounce and lose your double jump, which really shouldn't happen. Okay, so last skip coming up, time in about 5 seconds. Time. I mean, considering everything being 4 minutes off